I think I just found the worst cheating wife story of 2024 because it seems like after all the cheating wives we covered last year, they all went in hiding. Until now.
Got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I got into a situation.
How long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
And you got with this person.
I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. That wasn't the case because he was married. Technically, I was married too.
You and the married guy banging it up. You were
Yeah, of course.
and he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
Technically.
So this is going to be a sort of compilation of what I thought were the most shocking parts of this story. A link to the full version on Caleb Hammer's channel is available in the description. Let's get it.
Okay, so it all started 2 years ago. I got divorced.
Okay.
And
32.
when I left my husband, I was only making like $16 an hour. And so that wasn't enough. And so I got myself into a lot of credit card debt because I moved into an apartment that I couldn't really afford, but I thought that someone else was going to be living with me in it.
Who?
So that's
What do you
happened.
mean? The ex?
No. Okay, so right after I got divorced, I got into a situation with somebody I knew from work.
Wow. Bro. Come on. And here we thought we had an original story. Statistically, people are most likely to cheat with their coworkers.
And
How quickly after the divorce?
well, like immediately. It was like a rebound, right? I guess is what they would call it.
Okay.
And
Like,
we worked
like the
together.
day after?
Maybe.
Disgusting, bro.
Sort of. Yes.
Okay.
So I knew him, right? We worked together. That's how we met.
Wait,
and
how long are you married?
Almost 5 years.
Did you guys ever have any kids?
Yes.
And you got with this person
Sad.
a day after?
Yes, but see what I thought he was like the love of my life.
A day after a divorce. Okay.
Yes.
Sure. And you thought he'd be living with you?
Yes. Like I thought we were going to be together. We were going to be in love. But then that wasn't the case because he was married.
Oh.
Which I know it sounds terrible, right?
That sounds
but
terrible.
I thought he was just like the love of my life. And we met under these unusual circumstances, which technically like I was married too, right? Like, so.
Wait okay. No.
The host is in such disbelief that he had to take his glasses off to make sure that he was hearing straight.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
All right, go on. I'm
so like
processing.
from the time I moved out of my house to the time my divorce was finalized was probably like 6 months, maybe a little longer. So like technically I was married.
When
right?
So like the day after you were like, hey, I'm divorcing you? Is that how that went?
My ex-husband?
Yeah.
Well, we had like a conversation.
And we were like, okay, so it's ending in a divorce. We understand?
Yeah.
And
Yes.
the next day, you were with that dude?
Well, no, I mean no, not exactly.
No.
But very soon after, yes.
But he was married?
Yes, so I was under the impression that he was the same kind of married that I was, which
What?
like
Same kind. What kind of married is that?
which is like
That's insane.
no, hear me out. So like
Okay. No, I'm hearing you out. It just doesn't really vibe with my personal morals on that.
right?
But
No.
go for it. Go.
So like
You say your thing. We're trying to get context for how you ended up here. So go ahead.
legally married, right?
Oh yeah.
Like was not divorced yet, but we were not living together.
Yeah, but you also met up with the dude the day after, and he was married. As
Not
well.
the day
Right.
after. That makes within a couple of weeks, right?
Hold on. Getting your back blown out a few weeks after your divorce does not sound better than the next day. Also, meeting the love of your life while you vow to commit for life to your husband is nasty work. This chick here is insane. Those are the vibes that I'm getting already. She's almost enjoying telling this story, and it's sick. It's sick to watch. It's sick to realize that like this is a true story, right? You think it's fiction.
So, anyways, he had me under the impression that they were getting divorced, but they owned a home together. They owned vehicles together. So it was like a longer process, right?
But yeah, you
So-
guys had a kid.
Right.
Yeah, but we didn't have any like finances together. So it wasn't hard.
Okay.
Right. So he was like, I'm leaving. Like they're not together anymore, right? They're just in this process of getting divorced. That was my understanding. Turned out that wasn't the case. at all.
You got played.
And I found that out several months
How long are
later.
you guys together?
Me and the guy?
Sorry, I know this isn't like straight finances right here. We're trying to give context for the finances, but
Keep her talking,
I do have to be a little honest that I am quite interested in this.
That's fine.
So I will give it at least a couple more minutes.
We were together maybe 6 months.
You and the married guy.
Yeah, married.
Banging
is
it
what
up.
I thought.
Banging it up.
Well,
You were
well, yeah, of course.
and he was married.
Yes.
That's homewrecker behavior.
technically
Right?
That is true. It's
Yeah.
embarrassing.
Yeah.
But they're still together.
Wait a minute. And you signed a lease expecting him to live with you? Yeah, they're still together. Does she know?
Oh yeah.
Are they open?
No.
Future wife, please don't cheat on me. I would be. That's okay.
This is crazy. She's there giggling while telling the story. What is wrong with this chick? Notice how this chick is giggling and laughing while telling the story. And it's not like this nervous laugh or, you could tell that she's laughing out of being uncomfortable. No. It's more of like lack of remorse.
Yeah, let me loop this back to finances. So you signed a lease expecting to live with him because you thought he was the love of your life?
Well, like
a married man that you met?
Wait. When you say it like that, it sounds bad.
It is bad.
But
Girl, I'm going off what you're saying.
It is bad.
No, and what I'm saying is that right now, right, of course, now I see your
No.
perspective.
I'm
But
just saying,
at the
did you get
time-
the apartment expecting to live with him?
Eventually, yeah. I thought
What was
he
eventually?
would move in. I don't know, within like a few months. There was something that was happening that he was waiting. There was like a
Damn,
kind of
maybe he had a
timeline.
wife.
Yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. So I couldn't really afford it, but it was also the cheapest place I could find. So I don't really know what I could have done differently necessarily.
This is horrible. Trying to destroy your marriage is one thing, but trying to successfully kill two birds with one stone, as in destroy two marriages and just, F the kids, F the family on both sides, is another level of ruthlessness. And something tells me if she was successful, she would have slept well at night.
And it does sound crazy.
So that's
I
how
will
you
agree.
started getting into debt?
Yeah. So when I got divorced, I didn't have any credit card debt at all. I had credit cards, but
Sure.
no balances on them.
Yeah.
But I did have all this student loan debt. That's been there. So
Okay.
yeah. So I ended up in the credit card debt because I didn't make enough money to live my life, but I had to.
Well, you signed
right?
up for a life for two
Yeah.
with this like dream that didn't exist.
You're
Yeah.
right.
It's so sad.
It was it feels like was it like a fantasy in your head?
No,
Why did you think he was going to move in and take care of half the payment?
because that's what he was telling me.
Okay,
Like
so
he was like,
leading you.
"I'm gonna marry you. You're the
Delusional.
love of my life."
they have
I wish
kids?
I'd yes, teenager.
This is gross. Okay.
It is gross.
Something tells me that her husband paid off most of her debt. This is what men do.
Is
They're-
it?
They're so happy.
You
still.
think so? Okay.
It is. I mean,
Um,
it's embarrassing, right? But it's also like a part of my life. It happened
2 years ago.
2 years
At
ago.
32.
It's a long time. But I'm trying to do better, right? That's why I'm here.
Okay. Sure.
And my life is so much better.
So you
now.
started going into debt because of that? And then
Well, not because of the guy.
It was 2 years ago,
necessarily,
but because you lived a lifestyle too high because he didn't move in.
yeah, because I truly could not afford
Okay.
my life with
Well, that
the
was
job
2 years
that I
ago.
had.
So
Yeah.
what have we done these last 2 years?
Okay, so about a year ago, I got a way better job.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
this job I have now, right? So
Yeah, it's a good job.
I basically doubled my income.
Oh, sure.
So it's been way better. I moved into a better place,
That's okay.
which was necessary. Yeah.
What do you mean?
So the place I was living when I first got divorced
Yeah.
was like a tiny home.
Yeah, the place
Like
you
it's-
couldn't afford. Okay.
Yeah, it's meant to be like a storage shed, right?
It
But
was.
then
It was
someone
storing
turned- yeah, and my child.
Yeah.
And so it was like 500 square feet and just all one room, basically. It was not ideal.
Yeah, you were living in a studio.
Yeah.
People live in studio. Okay, sorry.
Right.
Go ahead.
Okay, but when you have a little kid, you have
How old's the
lots of
kid?
stuff. She'll be 5 soon.
What is she gonna think? When
That is sad.
I don't like it.
um.
She's going to be devastated. She's going to be
I think
traumatized.
people do this all the time, right? That isn't.
No, they don't.
That's part of like love is like taking a chance on something.
Oh my gosh.
And like it sounds crazy, but I really thought like he was like the one.
Bruh.
Right? And then he wasn't. And that's partially because he was lying to me and I just believed it because I wanted to believe it.
That's insane.
But now, in retrospect, it's very clear what was happening.
Well,
so she's over here blaming the man for lying to her, not blaming herself. And she went from being married, not being in debt, to getting her cheeks clapped at work. Because once a wife gets her cheeks clapped and cheats on her husband, she stops thinking straight in most cases. And then she moved into what she called a storage unit. He called it a studio. I know what studios look like. What she described was something that used to be a storage unit. You risked your whole marriage to move into a storage unit and ended up in deeper debt and multiplied your problems, all because you couldn't drink coffee. Sadly, this is exactly what you get when you marry a woman who believes in fairy tales, who values love over commitment and duty to marriage.
what would you rate yourself finances wise? I know we're talking about love. We're not talking about that kind of rating. We're talking about finances. Finances, 0 being the worst, 10 being the best. Where do you think you are financially today?
So I took the quiz on your website.
Oh, yes. Free, link in the description below.
It gave me a 0, which I don't agree with.
Why do you not agree with that?
I don't think it's that bad. I think
Of course.
Seriously,
I think I'm like a 4.
You think you're a 4? Explain. Go ahead.
Okay.
Give it to me.
So I do have a lot of debt, right?
Oh, okay.
But
Yeah, laugh it away. Go ahead. Yeah, laugh that pain away.
I don't have
That gets rid of debt.
anything in collections. And I'm
You own a home?
no,
You have a fully funded emergency fund?
no.
How's your retirement?
It's pretty good, I think. But truthfully, I don't really know.
It's pretty good, I think. I don't know. All right. So you don't have an emergency fund. You have bad debt.
Yes.
You might have retirement going for you.
No, I mean,
Other than that.
I have like a 401k from an old job that I quit.
But
and
is
I
it good for
rolled
your
it over.
age? Like, I don't
Oh,
know.
probably not.
Okay.
I'm
So
old.
why are you a 4?
Well, 4 is like less than halfway. So I feel like it's not so bad.
I mean, is it really surprising that a chick who tried to wreck 2 homes and was convinced she met the love of her life also has an unrealistic take on her financial situation? It's all tied in, if you ask me. All right, so this next part is where I think a lot of men can learn from what not to do and how not to choose a wife if marriage is something that you value today.
Listen, I don't want to get in the way of love. It's just like, you have a kid, you have responsibilities.
Yeah.
Like, sorry, yeah, I know you divorced him, but you guys still did the bang, and you have to take care of the result of it. And it's only 4 or 3 or 2 or 5. You know, whatever. It's an age. And she. Okay. And you have a responsibility as the mother.
Poor
just because
girl.
you guys are divorced doesn't mean all of a sudden you're just free from all consequences of that relationship. And some of that involves getting your financial future secure so that you can actually have a shot of retirement without your daughter having to take care of you and put her life on hold to take care of you because you weren't responsible enough to take care of yourself. You could also pay for college. There's a lot of different things. It's not that you have to, but you could.
Right.
But you're prioritizing your, having situationships and just fun. Also, why did you guys get divorced? Going into the tea again. I just can't escape it. The kettle is hot, but I have to know now. Why did you guys get divorced?
So what I will say is that it was very fast. Like we met and probably within 2 weeks we moved in together.
Oh,
Which is,
it was very fast.
And then
Number one thing of not to do, don't move in with a crazy chick in 2 weeks. How about no woman should move in with you after 2 weeks, right? Regardless of whether you may think she's crazy or not.
and he moved away for his job. And so I followed him because love, right?
Oh, yeah.
So then, it just within a year we were engaged and then I got pregnant. So we got married because I needed health insurance.
Oh, God. Okay.
Yeah.
So we didn't get married for love. We got married for health insurance.
At that time, we were already engaged. So we were planning to get married.
Because of the kid? Or because you're just moving quick?
Just moving quick. Yeah. So what I think is if we had dated like 6 months longer, we just would have broken up.
Unbelievable.
But then at a certain point, it's like you're so far into it, and then you try to make it work, and then we had a
And how
kid,
does
and
that usually work?
not well.
Oh, interesting. Who would have thought?
But really, everything fell apart when we had a kid because having a kid is hard. And there are things we didn't talk about because it moved really fast.
I want you to think about what she just said there. Everything fell apart when we had a kid. Imagine her daughter listening to this when her daughter is old enough to understand it. You're blaming your daughter. At least that's how she'll take it. Like, oh man, I came into the world and ruined my parents' union and marriage. This woman didn't think this whole thing straight. But again, this is a pattern of making bad decisions that ultimately cannot be cured unless you
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
drink the coffee. Very sad for the daughter.
That maybe if we had known these things about each other, we would have just broken up. But we didn't. We got married.
Well, it lasted 5 years somehow.
Yeah, I know. Shocking.
Mistake number 3 was getting married just out of convenience, not really understanding the gravity of the situation, just because we needed health insurance. Gentlemen, please don't let this be you. If you do not have strong shared values that plainly define the purpose and goal of your possible future marriage, you might find yourself married to a chick for insurance purposes. And so the host goes on to do his thing and grills her about her financial situation to help set her up, of course, for a better future, which then climaxed to this moment where he was fed up with dealing with this chick because he realized that she was a horrible decision maker and ultimately her daughter would pay for this in the long run. This is where he decided to serve some coffee.
You admitted it. You finally admitted it after this entire conversation. You have admitted it. You just don't want to. It is you acting like a child and being immature. And that is all I need to know because that is you. That is how you're living this whole thing. And I'm not surprised throughout the different stories and all these different things. That is how you're doing it. Using student loans to pay for everything that's not even paying for school. Taking out that extra loan, using student loans to pay it off. The whole thing that we're not going to go over all that again. And then just accidentally opening a car, accidentally going to grad school, all this stuff. You just don't care.
Right.
You're just going through life so immature with a lack of care. But there is, let's just say you don't care, and that is fine. So you're just whatever. You're deciding that your life is just whatever happens, happens. But you do have a 4, soon to be 5-year-old, and they did not have a choice to come into this world. And you have a responsibility to give them the best life possible. But you are choosing your chaos, your immaturity, your fun, your just whatever you want to do is more important over them, over their life, over the life that you can give them.
Let's go.
And that is honestly sad in my opinion. And that's why that when I just said, what a mother, that was too far. That was too far. I'm sorry. That was just an instant anger reaction. But that's what I'm feeling based on what you're saying and what you've said throughout this, because you're putting your immaturity over giving them the life they could have. And that is legitimately upsetting to me. And that should be upsetting to you.
Yes.
She doesn't care. She does not care. I don't think she cares enough. And one more clip here. I'm just going to let him brew. I'm just going to let this man brew. Let's get it.
When I said I don't want to, I was specifically talking about the student loan.
Yes, I get it. That's one thing. Why do you think you are entitled to I don't want to? The kind of logic is that?
No logic. There's no logic.
There's a lot of things I don't want to do. Congratulations. It's not always my choice. You signed up for
Right.
And I'm not saying I'm against forgiveness either, but just the I don't want to, that's just being an entitled little brat.
That's what everyone else is.
Bank of America, $4,000, $1,500 of it is in savings.
All right, so he obviously had it. This was insane. As always, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Let's check out some of the comments here. First comment here says, not a single mention how this would affect her daughter. Just immediately gets a place so she can move in with a man, ignoring he's a complete stranger to her kid. Mother of the year. Somebody else here added, I usually feel bad for the people in debt, but a double homewrecker, I feel no sympathy. Here's somebody else who says, this chick is weird. The way she so nonchalantly, calmly, and almost sweetly explains why she's a bad person is just odd. Very, very, very true. I agree with that. Somebody else here added, she thought life is a storybook and she's the princess. She learned life is a circus and she's the clown. Here's another comment that says, reminder that the love of your life will never be somebody else's spouse. Somebody else here added, using the word situationship when you're older than 20, immediately hilarious. That is a very immature word. Somebody else here says, there is something off about this chick. The flat emotion, airy, nice voice, no matter what she says. The weird flirting with Noah while paying $500 a month to see a boyfriend. Wait, we probably missed that part. That girl just feels so empty. I guess she has a boyfriend now. Somebody else here added, this girl's way too immature for her age. It's scary to know she's a literal mother. Guys, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.